If you're not using a modern database program, you're missing out on a powerful tool to understand your ancestors better. Rachel Dunkley explained that building a timeline for each ancestor is important because you can collate your information, see gaps in your research, and observe how historical events may have impacted your ancestor's life. While there are numerous tools to help you create genealogy timelines, I prefer using the built-in features in genealogy software such as Family Tree Maker or RootsMagic. Howdy, welcome to Family History Fanatics. If you're new here, I'm Devin Noel Lee, and I like to help you learn how to climb your family tree and have fun along the way. One way that I have found to have fun is to leverage software programs to create timelines using your database information. Now, I strive to ensure everyone knows what's required to make tools work. The first step to finding clues using database timelines is to fill your software with names, dates, places, and relationships. Record births, marriages, deaths, residence information, regardless of the source of that information, military service, migration, and so forth. If you can associate a date with a place, create an event for that until you have something that looks like this. While these timelines are great, the magic happens when you add the life events of family members to the list. So let's see how you do that on RootsMagic. On an individual profile, you'll see the option to show relative events right under the person's name. Make sure that is checked, and then you will see a timeline that looks like this. Notice I have the birth of Eveline's sibling William, and then the birth of her sibling John, all on her timeline. You can also see when her spouse was born on her timeline to see who is older than whom. Over on Family Tree Maker, in order to add your relatives to the timeline, all you need to do is switch from the Facts tab to Timeline, and then click on the drop-down arrow, and you'll see Show Family Events, and then they will pop up. And now you have a number of events in that ancestor's lives, but in the lives of their relatives appearing on their profile. This includes spouses, parents, children, and siblings. Before we continue, if you like using databases to build timelines in RootsMagic, Family Tree Maker, or other genealogy software, click the like button and leave a comment about your experiences with these programs. Now, let's get back to the topic of the day. Once you turn on the events from relatives, you can begin to see clues you had not considered before. To find genealogy clues, you have to know what questions you're trying to answer. In this case, I want to know what happened to Eveline Townley between the years 1881 and 1892. My second great-grandmother, Eveline Townley, was born on the 22nd of October, 1859. On July 1st, 1892, Eveline married William Talbot Peake when she was 32. I found Eveline in every census from her birth through the end of her life. Thus, she appeared in the 1870 and 1880 censuses before she married. She was not fortunate enough to appear in the surviving 1890 fragments 2 years before her wedding, but she was fortunate enough to appear in the probate record of her grandfather. In 1875, Eveline appeared in the Cincinnati City Directory as a student. I did not find her again in city directories until 1891 when she appeared without an occupation. While the 1881 city directory likely refers to her location in 1880, the biggest question I have is, what happened to Eveline between the years of 1880 or 81 to 1892? Why didn't she marry until the age of 32? The first clue to consider is that Eveline's mother, Anna Townley, died on the 24th of June, 1881. However, if we do not fully research all of Eveline's siblings and parents, we're likely going to miss out on the clues that answer our questions. Notice that before Anna's death, she gave birth to a child on the 21st of June. Unfortunately, the baby died of a hemorrhage. 3 days later, Anna died, presumably from her confinement after the baby's delivery. At the time of Anna's death, Eveline's father, Richard, was 44 years old. Eveline was 21. Her brother William was 17. Brother John was 11. And brother Harry was 3. Furthermore, William was already studying and working in his father's profession as a brick mason. He apparently worked with his father throughout the 1880s. They had their own brick masonry service business called Richard Townley and Son. By 1888, John worked with his father and older brother William. The father and sons worked together until at least 1895. With her father and brothers providing the family income, who was left to care for 3-year-old Harry, who no longer had a mother? It's safe to reason that Eveline now took on the domestic duties that her mother left. If this theory holds true, when her brother was old enough to care for himself, Eveline was free to marry. Thus, we could write this story. Eveline Townley, at age 32, was able to start her own family when she married William Peake on the 1st of July, 1892. She became pregnant right away with her daughter Eveline, who was born on the 13th of April, 1893. Since William and Eveline moved to his hometown of Bellevue, Kentucky, Eveline's father and brothers were left alone. Her brothers were now 28, 22, and 14. The youngest brother, Harry, did not seem to take up the bricklaying profession. Instead, he was studious and was allowed to focus on his education. He eventually earned a doctorate degree and became the U.S. Inspector of the Bureau of Animal Industry at the Cincinnati Union Stockyards. Eveline was fond of her younger brother, whom she helped raise. If you like seeing how I take documents and turn them into writing, then you're going to love my new channel, Write Your Family History. Be sure to check the link in the description box to go find that new YouTube channel and subscribe. All of this information was pulled together because I reviewed Eveline's timeline within a genealogy database. The database quickly allowed me to view her life events with key events of her father's and brother's lives. It's safe to say that someone needed to care for Harry. One could speculate that the burden would fall on Eveline. Further support for this speculation is that Eveline would name one of her children after her younger brother, presumably the one she helped raise. Additionally, other family resources indicate her great fondness for her brother Harry. Looking at the timeline that included family life events helped me discover why a strong connection might exist. I could not have easily made this connection without the help of the timelines available in RootsMagic or Family Tree Maker. However, remember I said to fully research the lives of all of Eveline's relatives, namely her father and brothers? Well, a new addition to the timeline is turning my assumption up on his head. Apparently, her father, Richard, married a Catherine Lane. And now I have to rethink my theory. Is it wrong to make false assumptions? Not necessarily. We use the research we have available at the time that we make our conclusions, and we always leave ourselves open for the possibilities that something can change. And that's the beauty of the timelines and researching as you go and writing as you go, both of which I've talked a lot about here on Family History Fanatics and over on my new channel. So if you discover that there's new evidence that turns your assumption on its head, that's okay. It's time to research the new addition and perhaps Eveline's extended family, namely her aunts, her uncles, the cousins, and that fan club we talked about earlier this year on this channel, to see whether the 22-year-old lived in the home with maybe her stepmother or someone else. And if that's the case, Eveline's story changed. But we still will have to wonder why she fell in love with her younger brother so much. Before you leave this video, take a moment to like the video and leave a comment. Your feedback helps me know what videos to make next to help you on your genealogy journey. Then go and check out this video about using genealogy databases. Welcome to Family History Fanatics. My name is Devin Noel